Hello and welcome back to the Leeds United FM20 save. Hope you're all doing well today and you're as happy as I am because we've finally found some form and hopefully we can keep it going in today's episode into the new year and then we're going to win a Premier League, something like that. Okay, maybe not quite win a Premier League, we're a bit far off that yet still, but there's a good chance of European football this season if we just keep going how we are. First things first, I know I say this every single day, but thank you, basically. Thank you for the continued support. I'm going to put a screenshot up right now. I've had 10 episodes of this series come out now, and episode 8, 9 and 10 are the highest performing episodes in the first 14 hours, 38 minutes of me putting the video out there, essentially, which shouldn't be happening, basically. It should be episode 1 at the top, and then it gradually goes down as more and more episodes come out, because that's generally how these sort of things work. But you guys are just, I don't know, you just seem to be really enjoying it, and it's so great to see some people enjoying it and getting engaged and watching it like as soon as it comes out sort of thing. So massive appreciation to you guys for that one, because this is not normal. Like, this shouldn't sort of be happening on a series. I think it's happened before to me. It doesn't happen to most people. It's always episode 1 at the top and then gradually goes down a little bit. But for you guys to keep coming back in your droves to keep watching this, it's amazing. And I'm going to up for likes target again because you guys keep smashing out the park. 250 likes is what I want on today's video, please. That would be magnificent. But I'll stop brown-nosing you lot. We're going to get into today's episode. And first things first, we will look at the form that we've been in since you guys were last here for the win against Tottenham and the win against Burnley. The first double win we had in the season. Immediately afterwards, we did have a bit of a setback, I must say. A 2-2 draw with West Ham United. Rodrigo and Hulazek getting the goals in that one. And then a 3-0 loss to Chelsea, which was rather frustrating, that one. Wasn't a big fan of it. We did have a couple injuries around this sort of time, but I can't really blame it or anything like that. We had injuries, we had to deal with it, and we didn't really deal with it very well against Chelsea. But December has seemed to be our month so far. 4 games played, 4 wins. A 2-1 win to kick things off against Everton. Roberts and Kulusevski getting the goal in the 92nd minute there to secure a win. We then took on Crystal Palace and Calvin Phillips scored potentially goal of the season with an absolute pile driver to win that game 1-0. We then beat Brighton 2-1. Adam Hulazek with a penalty and Hap scored one later on in the first half as well, before Justin Kluivert finally decided to get himself on the score sheet for the first time this season, scoring in the 2nd minute of the game with Adam Hulazek also scoring as well. Hulazek's been in great form for us, probably our best player, and he's been such a good player for us. He's actually been called up to the Czech national squad and scored his first goal for them. Now, it is very risky to congratulate a player when they scored their first goal. I'm sure you guys have experienced it. They scored their first goal internationally and they seem to hate you for it for some reason. But I took the risk with Adam, and it paid off quite nicely because he actually said to me, yes, thank you for telling me that I've done well there. I'll keep it up. Blah, blah, blah. I love you, probably. Something like that. The only downside to this is we're not really scoring goals, I must say. We've only had 1 game this season where we've scored more than 2 goals, and that was a 3-1 win last episode to Tottenham. We are, relying on 1-0 wins or winning by 1 goal margins, essentially, apart from Southampton, which is a 2-0 win. Goals aren't really coming forward. And if we have a look at the Premier League table, where we have done well, those 4 wins in a row have pushed it up to 7th in the table, and actually comfortably in 7th as well, ahead of Tottenham and Blackburn. But if we look at the table in a bit more fullness, we've only scored 23 goals this season. Everyone else around us has scored more. It's only when you get into the bottom half of the table you see teams scoring less than us, essentially. So it's a little bit of an issue, our goal-scoring prowess right now. If we look at our squad and sort it by goals, Adam Hulazek, who came in right at the end of the transfer window, has got the most. Rodriguez only got 4. Carlos Alaina's got 3. Kulusevski's got 2. There's no one, really, where the goals are coming from. At this stage of the season, I expect someone to be in at least double figures. I think we were last season, but it's not happened yet. Tyler Roberts even, he's just not in the same form that he was last season. Only 2 goals from his 10 appearances so far. He had more than that last season, so I'm a little concerned about the goals. Now, we could solve the issue with the January transfer window coming up. We're on the 26th of December right now, so we've got the January transfer window coming up very shortly, and we could try and bring some players in. I've got all these left winger scouts out right now to potentially place Kluivert if he doesn't really do anything. But the thing is, we don't have the money right now because I've actually already bought some players. Now, we needed some more money because we had no money in the transfer budget. I asked for more transfer budget, they said no. Asked for more wage budget, but they did say yes to wage budget, as you can see on the screen right now. So converted a lot of those wages into transfer budget. And actually, I have signed 2 players already, but they are more for the future. A 17-year-old centre-back coming in from a Norwegian club. I can't remember what the name of the team is. Only £300,000 I thought was a very, very good deal. He's got 5-star potential, so hopefully down the line, we get him in the team and he'll be very, very good for us. And we've also spent £2.6 million on a 16-year-old centre-back. A little risky, potentially, because it is a lot of money for a 16-year-old. But again, he had a 5-star potential, looked very good. The scouts came back and really rated him. So I think we've got 2 good deals there. But they come through on the 1st of January, so we'll probably see those guys at the end of the episode. And speaking of youngsters, we've also had our youth intake preview for this season. Now, overall, it does say we should be really optimistic about this group of youngsters, but last season they said we're going to have a golden generation, and we didn't really have a golden generation. So I'm not very optimistic about this group, but obviously we will see if they actually come good. Of course, if you do want to get yourself in the game and be named after one of these players coming through the youth intake, do get yourselves down into the Patreon, just as Dan has done recently. Thanks very much, Dan, for that one. Massive appreciation to you. So thank you for your contributions. They are, I said appreciated too many times in the sentence. I was trying to say something other than appreciated, but they are appreciated. I need to Google a thesaurus and just type in appreciated and just see what other words there are, because I always use appreciated. I feel like it's overused a bit. But, I mean, acknowledged doesn't really have the same effect, does it? Or enjoy. I don't know. I think there's no other word other than appreciated for this situation. Groove on. Groove on is apparently a synonym for appreciated. I'm not quite sure that's right. Either way, that is enough waffling now. So it's time to get on with today's fixtures. Man City up first, who are top of the table and haven't lost a game yet this season. They are currently on an invincible run, so it's probably going to be quite difficult to beat them. I think our run of 4 games winning might come to an end in this one, but I do like to show you the games that we are going to struggle in and show you the tests that we have, because it's a bit more interesting than us beating Southampton 2-0. As I say, we have battled with injuries and suspensions actually as well. So McCalmont currently injured, Phillips is currently suspended, Haps injured, Carol Filler injured as well. So a little bit of a makeshift back line in Josko, Koch, Drama and Nedliakov, alongside obviously Farinez in goal. Belmonte and Elena start in the midfield with a usual attacking trio, and actually quartet, I suppose, if we include Rodrigo as well, of Kluivert, Matthias Vital, Hodozek and Rodrigo. I definitely started slurring my words during that, and I definitely said those names slightly wrong, I think. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today, and instantly City have a chance to attack, which we have cleared, and Matthias Vital is coming forward with the ball. Come on, lad, let's get this on a nice counter. Alright then, do that instead. Do that instead. See if I care. I mean, what was he thinking? What was he thinking? I don't get it. I mean, Farinez did his best, but oh my God. Well, good start to the game. Happy with that one. Obviously, we want to give them a head start because we don't want to embarrass them too much and we now go and score 5 goals. We want to at least have them score 1 goal, to make them feel better about themselves in a way. So we've got to do something good. Obviously, Paulo Dybala now playing for Man City. I just saw Ramos at the back. They've got Sergio Ramos as well. So obviously, the City squad, they've spent a lot of money on it. But I'll be honest with you, despite the early mishap, I don't think we've been too poor in this game so far. I mean, it is Man City. We're expected to, okay, there's the second goal. There we go. I've started talking about it now. It's going to happen. Should have gone more defensive, probably. But when we've won 4 games in a row using this formation, I thought it might just be worth a try just to see if we could do anything with it. The answer to that is no. So we do now know for next time that this is not the formation to use against a Man City. We can drop to this more wing-back formation. It's just that Nedliakov and Drama aren't really keen wing-backs. Obviously, we've then got to take off Kluivert, basically, for Ben... Not Ben Wilmot. Let's take Valentini off there. Or Valentini on, I should say. Let's try this out. Do these two want to swap over and do some... That works a little better. Confirm that. Let's go for this instead. I mean, I did think we'd actually maybe get back in the game. But no. Maybe let's sit this one out. To be fair. Oh. Well. Another injury. Not good. At least we've had a shot now at some point. We've had a shot somewhere. Hopefully you guys saw that on a highlight. But this is just like the Chelsea game. We do well against the teams really low down the table. And, I say that. We beat most of the teams low down the table. We do get to play these like top 6 teams, like a Chelsea or a City. And we got pulled apart by a Chelsea, lost 3-0. We're now losing easily to Man City. We did only lose 3-2 to Liverpool, but we were basically gifted 2 goals with a penalty. And one of the other goals, they basically just passed to our... It was basically like the Dybala goal, to be fair. It's basically like that one, to be fair. So that's how we scored our 2 goals in that Liverpool game. If we hadn't done that or been gifted those goals, we would have been absolutely drubbed 3-0. But ultimately, we have lost it 4-0. So, I mean, not a great start today, lads. And obviously, Shitty Gel said the wrong thing to them. I can't fault your efforts. Oh, lads, there were no efforts. I'm just going to go aggressive to them all now. Disappointed. Aggressive. Disappointed. Oh, everyone... Look, let's go for a full house then. Confused and demotivated. I've ruined things. Carlos Elena out for 3 to 4 weeks, which isn't great. Another midfielder out of action. And we've got to rest all these players right now as well, because we have a game literally tomorrow as well, I think. Not quite tomorrow, on the 28th. We've got 1 day off, so they have to be rested on that day, so we're fit enough to play Sheffield United. So I've just seen something. I've just seen Vinicius Jr. is available for loan from Real Madrid. I don't know if we get a work permit for him though, because he's Brazilian. Has he got like Spanish? He's got Spanish nationality. Okay, so we don't need a work permit for him then. He's extremely doubtful. Loan interest unknown. How much do they actually? We can't click on loan yet because it's not. Okay, we'll do this in today's episode. In the meantime, we've just got to get past Sheffield United first. Carlos Elena is going to come off for Shackleton, and we'll bring Calvin Phillips back on for Belmonte, who's now not suspended. Haps can also come back on for Nedliakov as well. But other than that, we leave the lineup as it is. Now, obviously, we've not seen much of Justin Kluivert in today's episode so far because he was taken off 30 minutes into the game against Man City. But he's only scored 1 goal this season. That's been his highlight, really, if I'm honest with you. And I'm trying to think of ways to get more effectiveness out of our left wing. And potentially that would mean getting rid of him and buying someone else in. But if Vinicius Jr. is available on loan from Real Madrid, we could bring him in, swap these guys around a little bit, keep them rotating. Rodrigo's run is amazing there. And he's won as a penalty in the process. You love to see it. Who takes it? Adam Holozek is taking the penalty for his 8th of the season. Come on, lad. Let's get this in the back of the net. He hasn't done it. Okay, fine. We'll have to win it the conventional way then, by not scoring penalties and scoring from open play instead, or potentially a free kick. Now, someone in the comment section last time did say that our tactics do indicate that we play through the middle of the pitch and things like that. That's just the way the vertical tiki-taka works in this game. I've not touched any of this. And he said, if you're not focusing play down the wings, then you're not going to get the most out of Justin Kluivert. And I thought, oh yeah, good point. But then I realised, he's an inside forward. He's meant to cut inside anyway. He's meant to sort of get the ball, cut inside, play through the middle. It's Holozek, who's the winger, who's meant to stay really far out wide, and yet he's the one that is probably our best player this season. So I'm not actually buying that as an excuse for Kluivert. I couldn't remember his bloody name then. So I really don't know what we do with him. I really don't know. A lot of you guys seem to say, well, there's a mixture of you guys in the comment section. Some saying sell, some say put him out on loan, some say drop him, and some say just keep him playing. He'll get good at some point. So, I mean, you guys aren't really as clear as I am. You know, we're all confused and conflicted about what to do with him. The answer could be Vinicius Jr. on loan if we can get him and he wants to come to the club. That could be the answer, but I feel like he might be quite expensive still, so that might not happen, unfortunately, as Sheffield United look to come forward. Come on, lads, let's defend this well. We've not defended it well, but Farines makes an incredibly good save there, and then another incredibly good save. I think he pushed that onto the post. Did he? He did, because that's talking about goal line technology, and he pushed it onto the post. Oh, Farines, what a boy. Another chance for us just before half-time by the looks of things, as Haps into Phillips, into Vital, back to Phillips. Come on, lads, shooting from... What a finish that is from Calvin Phillips. Wow. In off the crossbar. I thought it was going way over the bar, but no. In off the crossbar. Haps gets it inside to Calvin Phillips, back to Vital. Phillips back to him, and then Phillips just from miles out. Big curling effort in off the crossbar. What a way to score a goal. Come on, you Calvin. Come on, you Calvin. You love to see things like that. And can we grab another one for half-time? No. Cock can lose the ball instead. At least Muset can come forward. Billy Sharp puts it just wide. Come on, Calvin. Deliver a great ball into the middle. And he has done. Rodrigo puts that one in the back of the net for only his 5th of the season. Not quite as prolific as he was last season. That's also something to think about. Whilst we are blaming Kluivert and saying he's not performing, our star striker only got 5 goals in how many games? 20. And he's played, I'd say, at least 15 of them. Which actually, maybe that's not the worst return. Well, actually, 1 in 3. I don't know. I can't decide. Either way, we seem to be controlling this second half so far, given that this is only the first highlight of the second half, 60 minutes into the game. As Hulazek coming for. I've got to say, by the way, Cody Drammer, he's come in quite a bit recently because Phil has been injured or not been able to play games and things like that. And he's done incredibly well. He's done nothing wrong, to be fair. And he's meant to be quite the weakest link in the squad, essentially. But he's come in and he's done a good job. Another free kick for us is Calvin Phillips into the far post. Josko, not Josko. It's Robin Koch who gets his head on it this time. Off his noggin for the first of the season for him. And this is completely different, isn't it? Completely different. And we are Man City this game. All right? We are Man City. And Sheffield United are Leeds United this game. That's how it's planning out. It's just the routine winners. Luke Ayling, of course, our former player, I think has just won themselves a penalty. Not great. I forgot we sold Luke Ayling. See, that shows how weak he's been, because he's not done anything in this game so far. That's the first time we've seen him, as we can't save this penalty, unfortunately. It is 3-1, but at least we still won the game. And there we go, confirmation of the 3-1 victory. We stay 7th in the table. Only 1 point off Arsenal, 6th, which is mad, to be fair. And we're only 6 points off Champions League. I feel like we're overperforming a little bit, but I don't know, we've had a good little run recently. So the plan right now is to go through to the 1st of January. You can see these new 2 guys that have joined the club, and we'll try and put that bid in for Vinicius Junior. Oh, well, this is quite nice. Well, it's not quite nice because UK have left the European Union. Not a fan of that. But it looks like we now have a limit of 17 foreign players in the squad, as opposed to the current work permit system. So what I think will happen is we can sign anyone we want without getting a work permit. So does this mean we can just sign Brazilian Wonderkid after Brazilian Wonderkid with no work permit? Because if that's the case, we're in the money, lads. We are in the money. And the 2 new signings are here. Now, the scouts said they had 5-star potential. So please still have 5-star potential. This guy's got 4-star, but it was only £300,000 to bring him into the club. So that's not breaking the bank, but he does have like good physicals and things like that. So he could be a very handy player for us. But this Mike guy has still got 5 stars potential, 20 determination. Oh, you love to see it. It's got some incredibly good, like tackling at 16 years old. Heading of I mean, he looks incredible, doesn't he? He looks so good. This guy's one for the future. One for the future. And whilst we are here, how much do Real Madrid want per month for Vinicius Junior? They want us to pay 90% of his wages and 150k a week. I'm going to make the offer. Why not? We've got nothing to lose other than lots of money, but we've got nothing to lose. Let's get him in, see what he can do. Imagine if we get him in. Imagine. That'd be mad. Now, because we don't have much money left in the transfer budget right now, we're not going to do a January transfer special this season. Also, because if we do one every single January and every single summer, they're not really specials anymore, are they? So we're not going to do a January transfer special. Instead, I think we're going to push through to the Southampton and the Brighton game at the end of February for next episode. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you're still here, please drop a like on the video for me. Would massively appreciate that. And of course, press that subscribe button as well, because that is wonderful. Want to get to, we're close to 15,500 subscribers now. We only got 15,000 the other day. We're close to 15,500 now, which is huge. So if we could hit that in the next week or so, that would be mental. So until next time, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.